Hi, Taurus. Okay, welcome to 2023. Okay, Taurus. Where do we want to begin? Excuse me. When you wake up in the morning, do you stretch? Do you touch your toes? You move all your limbs? You know, they say that in between your joints, your ligaments that hold the muscle that connect to your bone, when you sleep, it sort of it creates kind of like a spider web, if you will. Very opposing Scorpio energy for you. But when you stretch, what it does is it puts heat into it, right? Because there's movement and action. And with that, it warms those places up and it melts those spider webs. Because if you don't stretch, that's when we start to get really stiff. Because it kind of like builds up on top of each other. And it's like you got to scrub all the layers of the pan, right? So many analogies. So in this chariot year, which I love, a 7 year, you could look at your 7th house, you could look at your descendant. I feel like we've already been here, done that to a certain extent, right? All of you, even if you're, in your mid-20s, you've been around the wheel a couple times, right? So be open to the change of it. And actually, we'll get into your words. So I actually already recorded your reading, and I'll share those words with you, but it kind of shifted. And it was funny. It's that old rap song. It's like taller, baller, scholar, holler. I guess holler has a dual word. But take those words as you may. The words this time around, and it's been almost 2 months since I recorded this last one. So your words now are loyalty, which I feel like has such a maturity to it, right? I also saw the owl, but the way I drew the L sort of looked like O. So if you have any bills, being responsible for your money, this kind of being responsible in that physical world and paying off debts as you go along, that's a good thing. I also saw get ready, which kind of emphasizes the movement, right? This is a chariot year, so it's a cardinal energy. It's not fixed. It's not stuck where it is. It's not undirected. This is directed energy. And the last two were be brave, okay? And actually, it's very suiting your overall energy, which was the only sign out of all 12 where it showed me, actually a little bit of Libra too, but in a sideways way. This was very directive, and your overall energy for this year is the Emperor, 333. For those of you who have been here for a while, there was a time when it was probably the first 4 years of OPAL ORACLE through this space where you always had the Emperor in your readings. Always. This is your neighbor Aries. This is Mars energy. It's that Emperor is very fruitful. There is a Saturn image here, so that could be important. I mean, to become the Emperor, you have to know Saturn, right? You have to understand time and responsibility and how things play out, and being responsible for yourself and realizing that affects the whole, in huge decision making with the Emperor, right? I mean, Emperor has counsel. Emperor takes advice. Emperor has a wife, right? And that was another thing with wish it was a little bit taller. I wish it was a baller. I wish I had a girl. If I did, I would call her. If I wish I had whatever. So, You know, wishes are, Virgo said it once, wishes are like dishes, right? You can wish, but then you got to take the steps to make it happen, right? And if you do, then I see you're very fruitful. And I guess the way that you define yourself, not only in words, but also in your body, like how you feel, that's going to give a lot of direction. They kind of give the direction. I also see creatively there could be some really beautiful things. Maybe some of you start your own business, or you start to just take on, it's kind of like you can focus on more than one thing. Or at very least when you're focusing in on one thing, right, when the bull is like really into it, when necessary, I feel like it's possible and helpful that when you're focusing in, it's more of like your head is up. And because of that, you can see all these other parts that are around you. And I highly suggest your opposing energy, Scorpio. It's actually, you go from the Alpha Omega was also something that I saw for you. Okay. Let's look at your challenge. Huh? I forgot to mention that. We'll do overall challenge and then month to month. Okay. Challenge Taurus, 6:30. Just a second. Oops. Which way is this supposed to be? Okay, so your challenge is actually the Ten of Swords. Please watch Scorpio's reading. Tens are being at the end of a cycle, right? You've hurt yourself enough, okay? This has to do with Pisces. Be brave. Be brave. You are brave. How about that? You are brave. And remember, it reminds me of that honesty reading. And then I saw the words, there are different kinds of honesty. That's interesting. What's that mean? Emperor is honest, though. That's the point. Ten of Swords is not honest. Ten of Swords, it doesn't say what they're thinking about. They don't say what they're feeling, and they hide that. They hide things. Now, is there a place and a time? Maybe it's honesty. Well, the truth is always happening, even if it's not said, right? But I suppose when to say things is mature. But it's really attending to it as soon as possible, right? Not allowing things to drag out. I would also say your diet this year, paying attention to your body, especially any of you who are like a Capricorn, like Saturnian rising, or like Saturn strong with you. Your 8th house is strong, things like that. I would also put a cap on drinking if you are a drinker, or at very least do things, Emperor does things because he's happy, not because he's stressed, right? So maybe it's how you deal with your stress, and this is mental, emotional, which therefore, to me, create what your spiritual character or like stage is, level, if you will. Jupiter's going to be going into your sign also, right? And the North Node is moving from that space. Okay. Let's look at January. That's another card that actually showed itself. It's very good. We'll try to take times 950. Let's just do 10 minutes. I need a couple seconds to chill. Okay, January, you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is beautiful. What positive, good energy to start with. So, excuse me. I need something to drink. Would you mind? Be right back. Oh, this carrot, turmeric, ginger. It's good. The gingers makes it really spicy, which in the beginning I didn't really like, but then it kind of grew on me. But what's interesting about the turmeric, which is really good for you, it's good for your heart, it's good for your blood, high cholesterol, but it only works if you add pepper, black pepper to it. And some things are like that, right? That you can have this, but you need that to mix together and make it something that's the most powerful. I mean, they still work on their own to some extent, but the ultimate of what is wanting to be created, it needs these two halves. And I'm seeing this too, this water. Maybe you just want to look at your water and air houses, okay? But Nine of Pentacles is very confident. They do care about their body. I would think you had, somebody else had this energy from now until September. You want to think about what you want to create. I see this emotionally and physically. Because remember how you feel about when you're building, how you feel when you're creating. Well, that makes all the difference, right? What a positive month. It's looking forward in a really nice way, too. There's buttercups here. Maybe some of you it is something where, like, if you aren't partnered up, then it would be something that you want to think about, right? I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish it was a baller. It's like, well, if you wish you were taller, then just you need to be more confident, put your shoulders, you know, back and down. Have a straight spine, you know. Scholar, take the knowledge that you have learned and apply it and be wise in who you are, because you can now. Most of you here are my elders anyway. Like, you're awesome. Like, you experienced so much life. Of course you can do it, you know. And holler, it's like, yeah, this is communicating. It's also understanding how things vibrate when you put it out there. And baller, I guess it's being, you know, in charge of your money too. And I also see a baller as like when you play, like someone playing basketball, and, you know, that's, again, good exercise. It's putting yourself out there. And it's less about the competing. It's more about, in all of these stages, it's more about participating. Okay? Cool. Let's move forward. Let's see, 1434, February, 9 of Wands. I love this card. What did we say, 1434? 9 of Wands. Oh, just a second. During I put a timer on my phone just to remember to give myself a second. And I think it's really cool that like the Muslims do it and so do the Christians. I'm sure other people do too, but specifically I thought it was interesting because it's all kind of the same. But there's a morning prayer, a noon, like a midday prayer, sunset prayer, and then a end of day prayer, before you go to bed. And it makes this kind of cross of matter. And that actually is the symbol for Earth, the cross of matter, 4 directions. So I wanted to read you this. I can do nothing on my own. I can do nothing on my... this is one of those things, 9 of Pentacles, is like, I do it, I got to do it all, I got to do it myself. And you can. But the underlying of it is, I can do nothing on my own. As I hear, I judge... and my judgment is just, because I seek not my own will, but the will of that which created me. Your power prayer is really, really strong in this month. What you think about, where you put your energy. Try not to put it into the past, okay? I also see that there could be something that happened in January that you were very grateful for in February. It is good to have great gratitude here. Maybe even want to go back 10 years ago, 20. Actually, Libra talked about this too, which you're both Venus energy. Go back 20 years. Where have you been? Who were you involved with? What jobs did you have? Or where did you work? Or, just what parties do you remember? Just wherever you go when we say 20 years ago. I guess it'd be interesting to see where you go, but also to know that this has brought you here. And this place is really beautiful, Huh. Is that all we have to say with that? I'd make a wish in February. Why not? Because that kind of emphasizes where if January goes down to September, February goes to November. And actually, if we go forward in time a little bit, January goes to October. So we had Capricorn, Libra, and then February to November, Aquarius, Scorpio. I'm like seeing a map in my head. And then there's like there's a map. Okay, I feel like we should move forward. It's like being thankful for the past, for what has happened, promising to do better in the now for that which you left undone, right? And then wishing for the future. And I wish it was a little bit taller. It's like you got that. It's the good song about it, but then it's the action after that. It's like, oh, I figured out what I want in a creative way, and now I'm going to go about like attempting to achieve that, inshallah, in the now. Okay. March. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, some of you were like, it is too damn cold. Have you ever polar beared? Have you ever polar beared, Taurus? Okay, let's get real about this. Most of the time when Five of Pentacles shows up, it is a card that doesn't feel secure. This is a person swimming in the ocean in winter. Which is okay if you want to jump in there. But if we keep going with this, you can't stay in there. Don't stay in there too long, or you'll get really stiff and you'll start to sink. Okay? So what's the resolve for that? Let's see. This is looking in the past. Maybe that's part of the problem. That's way too many cards. I'm not going there. I don't... Okay. Okay, this is like a inner child place. It's like a shadow place. Coming home to you. What? Whatever relationships you have now, relate them back to the past. Like, what's the, I guess you could figure out why you did something in the past in March. But this could hurt, right? Information, truth, it hurts sometimes, right? It cuts things away. It's a sword, truth. Sword of truth. Just a minute. March. Well, okay, well, we're just at the 9 of Pentacles in January. Right now we're at the 5. So don't become impatient with something. Don't forget about where you just were. Maybe some of you were lonely in this time. Like you need to be held, or someone needs warmth. 3 of Cups. Some kind of Good Time USA. Moon. I'd watch that Good Time USA, whatever that means. Well, you know what? The inner child is running towards the future. It's like it's really in a chariot year. You can't go. I guess you could go in a circle, but make sure that's a wider. It's a wider breath. Okay? Because this could be where you loop in little circles. So if that's the case, I guess you want to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? And then if it gets into a place where it's real heavy and you start to feel stagnant or stuck again, like you can't do something because you need to feel brave here. Remember, get ready. Be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to that which... to be loyal to this life, right? Again, if it's too heavy, then ask yourself if you're in actual danger right now. You know, is there really a threat? Is it happening, or are you projecting fear? Is fear like tricking you to think something that you already know, like... Okay, let's go back. Let's 5 Pentacles. Pay attention to your diet. You know, dress according to the weather. You know, maybe this is one of those things when you finally figure out, in a way, like why you do. This is kind of psychological, but it has to do with your body too. And sort of like the way this plays out with other people. It could be romantically, it could be with your children, and the way your expression, etc. is like where you just put yourself in this. Oh, I guess it's where you hide. And like you want someone to come save you. But you purposely put yourself in a place where there's nobody. Or it feels that way because you made it that way. Interesting, Taurus. Maybe this is when you were little. Where do you feel like you wish someone would have saved you when you were little? Well, obviously someone did save you when you were little, because if they didn't, you wouldn't be here now. You were saved. You were never abandoned. If you were, you would have died thus far. You know what I mean? You're here now. That's what's important. That's what your inner child is like, dude. Tag, you're it. You know, it's not like stuck. So get some exercise, watch your diet. I would definitely take, especially if you're in a cold place, but water therapy would be good. It could even be taking an ice bath. That might shock your system to be like, holy fuck, there are homeless people. Or like really put yourself in check to understand, like, you are emperor, Taurus. You're not in the middle of the ocean in the winter with no boat in sight or land in sight, okay? Maybe it could also be helpful. We're gonna do. I knew it. It could also be helpful for you to, maybe you want to just check in and keep track of your emotions during March also. Maybe it could be the whole year if you want to. What are you thinking about? You know what I mean? Maybe you'll learn something about your pattern. April, 10 of Pentacles. So what were you sweating? Or whatever was cold, overcast gray day, and now it's sunny. Now it is sunny. You also go from 9 to the 10. There's a lot of earth in your reading. So really solid. So I'd also say for most of you, if you're worrying about money, because with Saturn, you have to be responsible for your money. And it's just helpful, again, like thinking ahead, right? So that being settled, if you ever worry about money too, it's because of something emotional. Okay, it's like a kick back into that place. April, wow, all the things, all the stuff. Nice house. Oh, it's like a pretty view too. I see evergreens. So Taurus needs a pasture, right? You like a pasture. But you also like to know, it's helpful to kind of know the boundaries of things, but you don't really go to the edges that much. You kind of stay in the place that has what you need, I guess. But this is also another 10, so there's something about where I see mental, emotional, and physical things that are shifting this year for you that which is kind of everything. And I know that can feel like a lot because it's been kind of the same for a while, right? I feel like that Uranus, if you want to think about 5 years ago, could also be what triggers you in March. So April is so positive. Now with these changes, oh, I see what just happened right there. We acknowledged that something had to change, and then we were like, recognized that that's scary, and then related it back to the past, and then cut it off. Like we didn't want to continue on what we needed to do to change so that we feel actually more comfortable. I mean, acknowledgement is good, but you want to have a bit of a plan, right? Ten of Pentacles is planning ahead. You know, it's retirement. It's college funds, it's life insurance, it's house insurance, it's a mortgage, you know, it's having at least a year's worth of bills, you know, and things that you would spend like saved, you know. It's if one partner lost the job, the other one could handle it, etc. Well, you know what I mean? It's like aware there. All these things are here. Family could also be important in this time. I also see work could be doing very well for you. Your family, your home is also like protected. But again, because this is a 10, you have to be open to something new having to do with home. If this isn't a physical move for you, although I do feel like you should think about that, like where you want to retire. Then if you're young, I guess you could still go all the way there. Why not? You know, use your imagination and then use your practicality. And what do you have that actually would work towards what you're trying to do? Maybe this is moving to a new town for some of you too, or getting to know you. I guess if you have to, it would be helpful if you get out of your bubble too. Like if you have been in a routine where it's just like you're in the zone, you're working a lot, you're like in your little bubble, like in your Taurus, like head down bubble. Remember, get up, get out, stand tall, share yourself with the world, because Emperor, you know, you can do that. Even when we were just talking about that, it totally shifted the whole energy and created confidence, okay? Because remember, one of your words is get ready. Because this could also give you really wonderful opportunities. You could meet new people. You could find a place to live. You could find a job. You could find that. You could be like, oh my God, that house is for sale. You know, or some things like this. So I would say get out of your comfort zone too. Okay. I feel like we should move forward. Let's see, 33. Let's do 33. We'll give it a couple seconds. May, your birthday. The ace of wands. Well. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Taurus. Happy birthday to you. And many more. When's the last time you had a really good birthday? When's the last time someone was just like, happy birthday, Taurus? Oh my God. And they were just like so happy you're alive. When did that happen? Maybe that could happen this year if you want. Are you happy for that? For your birthday? Right? Because if you love your birthday, then you love you, then other people will love you the same. People love you, Taurus, the way you love yourself. Did you know that? How much you believe in yourself. I mean, even sometimes a little bit more, but that's how it goes. So, feeling really good. This fire matches the February. And actually, Libra talked about this too, but it's kind of like less is more, you know? Red candle too. Usually that's about love, right? Maybe one of your birthday wishes this year is, I will love myself more. Like truly the depth and devotion that you give to other people, you really love yourself that much. I mean, it's still sort of happening, like chemically probably, when you're loving someone else, but it's it's like a spiral outward, right? And it's not about receiving it from other people that create the I love myself, although it's nice for things to be reciprocal, and they should. That's also a place of empowerment to understand that it absolutely should be, and that needs to be communicated, right? If not, then things build up. But really the essence of you taking that spiral outward and instead rolling it back in to yourself. Is going to be able to create even more the way that you want to share yourself with the world, the way you want the world to really be. Do you know what I mean? This is also another time to make a wish. So February and now Taurus, May. Wow. First house is definitely highlighted, especially if you're a fire rising. This is very, very positive for you. Like very, very positive. Oh, that would make sense. If you're air strong, that challenge will be more like air rising, any of the air on the directional points. So make a wish, Taurus. I would also look back to the beginning again, that January, February part. This is also when Jupiter moves into Taurus. Which, mind you, this does give you an opportunity to be able to have some things come to you in this time that's perhaps due to you. Okay, it's because of your prior efforts. I would definitely save your money. Hi, Crow. Right, be responsible for that. I see wish responsibly. Didn't this happen before? When the reading we did where the month where Virgo had the shaman and we used... Oh, I see. We used these primordial tarot. Let's choose one. Thanks. Thanks, Crow. These cards are intense, though. But let's see about this Ace of Wands, because that's going to make a big deal. Jupiter, when it goes through our sign, it changes us. And it won't happen again for 12 years, right? So you could also think back 12 years ago. Could be very helpful for you. 3 cards came out. So Justice came out. It's this one, I guess. It's the Queen of... Just a minute. So you receive the, what do they call it in this deck? They're different. Oh, it's the Woman of Jewels. And here she is. It says yellow is the color of the sun. And it symbolizes consciousness, understanding, energy, and physical existence. The jewels explore our experiences of material achievement and knowledge. Okay. It says humans adorn their bodies for various reasons. Maybe just for beauty's sake, maybe for some ritual purpose. As human culture develops, different people have different roles in their tribes. For better or worse, this includes hierarchy of power, emperor. It can come through control of resources, and it can come through highly developed skill that is in high demand. This person is proud, holds a proud, confident pose. Be brave, demonstrating their rank, authority, and power by wearing an elaborate bracelet made from the bones of an animal, including its skull. Aries. So we're talking about, this card represents power, skill, resources, ability to earn wealth, and successful career. Okay. Okay. I guess that's that. Hold on a second. Okay, we're back. I actually want to tell you, I actually took a little break and stretched, and I got up and stubbed my toe on my desk, and then it made me laugh, and went and snuggled Zumi and did a little dance, and then we came back. So June, we're talking about June here. Let's see. Oh, King of Swords. Huh. So deep contemplation in this time before decision. Maybe there's there's a conversation. It could be one of those times where there's a conversation that needs to be had. King of Swords is very decisive, very honest. Sometimes the truth is blunt, but it's already been well thought out, even if it is the case. Actually, if the King of Swords is ever truly blunt, this is also the Queen of Swords. It's because the truth has already been, the situation has already been discussed every way from Sunday, and then they get short-tempered. This is actually your first air, but it kind of mirrors that challenge. But the King of Swords has already been through the Ten of Swords. Let's get an extra card on this. Thank you. Okay, so someone's observing. People are observing happiness. Oh, everybody's looking over there. Huh. Oh, so that someone's thinking about the possibilities. Multiple people are thinking about possibilities. And I guess that which is the happiest is the focus. Okay. What's fun? June. What's fun to you? Taurus. I guess you could be stuck in your head. It's interesting, this King of Swords isn't, usually it comes out a certain kind of way, but in this deck it's different. Because there's two people on it. And actually there's a lot of people, so everyone's thinking the same way, too. That's interesting. I guess there could be curiosity to, I don't know if it's exactly how someone else, like other people are doing things. It's more of, again, like whoever's having the best time gets the attention. Whatever is the most free uh, and fun and loving, and but it's not like trying to be something. It just is. That is what all the focus goes towards. Maybe this is one of those things where someone also is worrying about what someone else thinks too. I guess the message would be, don't worry about what other people think. You know, like I see, like, love is love. Um, I guess it's a good time to get rid of judgments also. Huh. Interesting energy. Hi. Well, surface level, if we roll back before we move forward, again, King of Swords is honest, clear. They think about things before they decide, but they don't wait too long because they understand they have to work in these time frames. Things have to be definitive. And I guess if you can't come to a resolve about something, this would be involving some other people in some way or another to help find, you know, a means of deciding. Maybe there needs to be, for some, it could be counseling, or where there's like some kind of mediator in the situation. Okay. It could also be, for some reason, some of you could be hard to communicate or to be understood by certain people. But again, it's one of those conversations that's already been had, so it doesn't... So that's that. All right. Let's look at July. Queen of Cups. Awesome. So a king and a queen. Air and water. There's your, I feel like this is air and water. That big sun in the background too is Aries. Interesting. Okay, so Queen of Cups is very comfortable. Very comfortable. This is a sextile time to you. It makes sense. Capricorn time, the mirror of this is a trine. So you're going to feel good in these times, right? This is like a muse. Someone's amused, or someone's a muse. Someone's inspired by something. Something that was... Someone's inspired by, like, someone else's creation. Could even be inspired by their own creation. Maybe you become your own muse also, you know. Yeah, what inspires you when you're alone? Like, what is it that you create in yourself that you know, because you'd think the emperor just fell over. I'm getting this story, like, if an emperor does things, most of the things that he does, because other people rely on him. And that's awesome. It's loyal to do that. It's responsible and respectable and admirable and courageous to do that. Brave to do that. But it's sort of like, what do you do? Like, what kind of emperor are you? Say if you don't have a kingdom, right? Say you're like, I want to build a kingdom. Or I want to, you know, feel a part of the kingdom, then you work in that same kind of external space in your own, right? In your own, when you're in your own bubble, like when you're, regardless of who's around, right? I do feel like whatever, I guess, decision or conversation or whatever the situation was in June too, that then you're pretty comfortable about it, July. Or comfort is created. This is like Pisces and Cancer energy mixed together. Believing in the feeling of possibility. Hi, Hawk. I guess there could be a little bit of romance in someone's life too, whether this is just you're married and you're feeling more yourself and that more comfortable again because you receive what you are, you know, how you feel about yourself. So someone's like, wow, you're feeling really, you know, it attracts that energy. And if you're not partnered up, you could actually meet a person that's really beautiful. I think this is more, this is someone's readying. This is, oh, I see. Something that was, something becomes more refined. It's like where there was simplicity before, although there was great beauty in that. It wasn't quite developed yet. Something wasn't fully developed. And now it has like more of an ornate shape, you know. It has more, they feel more confident. Someone has felt more confident to expand on their, it's like a skill set improves too. I would also say anything you're creating, please, or creating with, please step back and look at it, right? Remember, Taurus sometimes is in like this. You want to pull back because it's going to give you a new perspective. It could even be taking space from things in ways of time, right? Take a day away from something, a couple days away from something, whatever it is. I mean, you're not stopping doing the other things. It's just, and I do feel like relaxing, sleeping, taking care of yourself this way, right? Your diet, your sleep, your diet and your sleep are two of the main factors of our longevity and happiness. So maybe some of you get a new bed, or this is also feeling having a home that's really, really comfortable. Don't forget to pay attention to what you're drinking too, like what you're taking in for food. Again, drink, things like that. There could also be a temptation to drink. Well, I feel like with all temptations, we want to resist, right? See. So if there is any celebrating of anything, again, or altering of the body in a way, like, oh, I want that sweet thing, or I want that wine, or I want to smoke weed, whatever it is, it's like, make sure you're doing it because you're in a good mood, okay? Never do things because you're in a bad mood to try to, like, stuff down feelings. No, it doesn't make the mind really stop. It's like a clogged toilet. You know what I mean? But this is very positive. Queen of Cups. She's also intuitive. I would pay attention to your dreams in this time. Make sure you wash your sheets. Sleeping nude is also helpful because it would be you being more in tune with your body. Maybe even being nude could be helpful in this time too. But it's not like a sexual kind of nude. It's like a, you know, you came into this world with no clothes, you know, and no jewelry or whatever, no definition of family, no knowledge of who is what and all of this. It's just, you just were. So it's kind of that energy. Okay. Let's see August. Page of Pentacles. This card's always funny to me. It's a little juvenile, you know. You know, there's a difference between laughing at someone and laughing with, like having a person instill, like extend the feeling of happiness that you already have into a place of laughter versus laughing at someone. And it is very important to laugh at yourself. Okay, if you ever get too serious, whenever you get stuck, it's because you don't laugh at yourself. You know what I mean? You don't. And I'm not talking about just cutting yourself down, like giving yourself a diss, like, oh, I'm fat, or oh, It's not that. It's like literally being like, catching yourself. Okay. Well, Venus is in retrograde in this time, right? So I suppose there could be a redo of a lesson that could come up in relation to love. This is also Leo's house is emphasized. I forgot to mention that. Leo, Libra, which are sextile, and then in a square and an inconjunct to you, and then Pisces and you, Taurus, which is a sextile. So you actually have all sextile, square, inconjunct. So you have an opportunity to adjust something so that it's actually fixed. But you have to take up that opportunity yourself. You have to say to yourself, yeah, I heard you could say to yourself, I want a redo on that test, or you can understand that you already passed the test, you already did the test, and you don't have to do it again. You know, it'd be like, do you want to take this class again? You took it last semester, or whatever. You took it, when you were in college 20 years ago, whatever it is. I suppose artistically that there could be things, you are a very artistic sign. There could be something where maybe some of you learn something new creatively, or pick up something creatively that you were doing before, like an old project or an idea, or a hobby that you enjoy, and you jump back into that. But I would go slowly with that, because it could be something where you're just into it during the retrograde, and then when you're done, you would be like, Like, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on something, or anything really, but especially, like, say you're going to spend a bunch of money to create something. It's like when Venus goes direct, which is September, early September, you may say to yourself, oh, I don't even really like that. I would definitely not buy any weird clothes either. I wouldn't go like clothes shopping in August here. Maybe this is embracing more of your weird too. I also see this. I wish it was a little bit taller. It's like, because this card's looking up. You know what I mean? It's looking up to the card, this card of prayer we mentioned in February, which looks right over to the beginning of January, the Nine of Pentacles, which looks back up at the Emperor, your overall energy, which is a major. And actually, I think you in Libra, which had the Chariot, maybe somebody else had I feel like someone else had Emperor too, but I feel like you and Libra, which were the two Venuses, had majors in their overall energy. Which I guess gives everyone collectively an opportunity to change something, to take a turn. You know what I mean? To have a turn, or to take that corner, to come around the bend. You're Your 10 also turns into the page, so you're going in order here. So remember back to your wishes that you made in February for yourself, financially, in ways of relationships, the way your spiritual world works out in the physical world, those kinds of spiritual communities, whatever you're trying to learn about. How to take all the cool things you've learned and like put them into reality in a way, or at least again, like, because we just talked about where something again becomes more right. It was kind of like plain, and then it became more developed, more ornate, which comes through time and skill, right? And then that's like, oh man, it's like thanking God for your talents. Maybe you find a piece of silver in your pocket. Libra had silver and gold. Interesting. They also had a very positive energy in August time too. So I guess, yeah, a gift could be coming to you, Taurus. It depends, so it has to do with your 5th house is highlighted this year also. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is embodying, like understanding the hermit that comes down off the mountain into the pasture. And then down out of the pasture and into the town. Right? There's this shifting of spaces. It has to do with your bravery. Okay. Let's look at September, actually. Oh, by the way, if you ever get stuck in your head, please watch Virgo's reading. That's another trine to you. That will be very helpful for you to understand. I feel like you understand Virgo energy pretty easily. September. 10 of Cups. Holy. Well, 20. Let's do 21. So 10 of Cups, September. Wow, so you have 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords. Oh my God, this happened to you before. 5 years ago, 6 years. Well, now Opal Oracle's on 6 years, so I guess it was 6. No, it was 5 years ago. Interesting. Okay, so, but that's, I guess that's a part of it. This mirrors up into the 5 of Pentacles too, that cold water we were talking about in March. That has to do with the past, you know? You know, with the chariot represents what? Well, I guess it's Cancerian energy, so this is this in your map. It's also your moon, right? Which controls your mind and how you think. Which shows how you feel, right? So, Taurus. A steady love, a love like mine. Thee and thine. Well, there's a deep connection here. So whatever was frozen is now fluid. It's like the snow-capped mountains melted. Knight of Pentacles, check, check, check. Magician. If you did this okay, it's for you. It's Cancer, Capricorn. That axis is powerful here. This is also the Moon and Saturn. So this is how, that goes back to that, like, honesty and your own emotional security. Because when you have that in yourself, then this is what you, like, in a way that I guess is lined up, it's more adjusted. Then you have 10 of Cups. This is, again, it's what comes, it's what you connect with. The better you're doing with Saturn, the more this is stays. It's like the longer and you know what's interesting is, I guess, the longer, the more of the water, the flow of it has to do with the colder. Saturn is cold, right? The colder it had been, because it created more snow. Right? It's pure as snow. 6 of Cups. So there's like an emotional 6 of Swords. Yeah, it's like a karmic. Maybe some of you finally get over a family karmic thing too. Hanged Man, perhaps. Or that'll be what is highlighted in some kind of way. But there's good feeling in this, right? 10 of Cups is positive on the surface. So it's how you feel about it, how people feel about it underneath is what's going to matter. What they truly believe, I guess, about family, or how you believe, how people believe about where they're going. There's the Chariot. Finally, I'm really happy this showed up for you, the Chariot. Because there could be a little fantastical energy getting July, August, September, even though it's so positive. But you want to keep realistic here, Emperor, right? Oh, because with the Chariot, again, sometimes what we have to do is put on, he usually has like armor on, which means that there's emotional security. And also that at times you put your emotions, Emperor, in the right place for the right amount of time, so that you can, for a certain amount of time, so that you can do what you need to do, and then come back into, derobe the armor and go back into whatever needs to be handled. King of Cups. It's this emotional maturity that's needed. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Let's see October 20. Let's do 30 for October. Oh, the Devil. How many majors do you have? 2 thus far. Okay, you are your brother, you are your sister, you are your mother, you are your lover. Like, there's no, I love this card. So you're purifying something toxic. This could also be a need to clean, like cleanse yourself energetically. You could, however you feel the need to cleanse yourself, that's necessary, especially the energy that you're around. And if for some reason you're around energy that isn't pure, I guess, in a way, like it doesn't feel that way, it feels really dense or like that kind of thing, then this is a very powerful and good time to pray, right? Because it could be a fear that creeps up. Because remember, this mirrors the Ten of Pentacles, and on the other side of it, one side at least, is the Ten of Cups. And you also have the Ten of Swords again, which means that all of these are going to roll over into aces. So there's at least 3 major new things. Again, at least one that's purely physical, one that's a mentality, one that shifts how, like, a big feeling space in you. Could have to do with family, whatever. It's where, and I see it's where you come from. So you're trying to find your way home in a healthy way. I guess that's the thing. Remember, everyone's on a different point in the path. Not all things that are familiar are healthy. Okay? And so you have to understand your own boundaries. I see the word boundary. You could also quit a bad habit at this time if you want to. You quit smoking, you quit drinking, you quit, I don't know, sleeping with random people. You could alleviate some kind of fear that's been blocking you. This is also an emphasis of, like, clearing out of family karma. In a way. Because again, you've already been, everybody, oh, there's that symbol. Look. We've already been here, done that before. And you know what? When someone's really successful, again, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, King of Swords, Emperor, 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, all of this. When one is growing really well, then sometimes there's a hard rain. You know, sometimes there's something to come in to shake you, right? Like, you're allowed to be abundant. It's just what you do with the abundance that you have. And I do feel like cleaning your jewelry, cleaning, if you read cards, clean your cards, like clean your office, clean, and again, cleanse. It reminds me of that Pisces, like, faith. Here you stay until it's time for you to go. And with Taurus energy, any fixed energy, it's always wise to, again, make decisions for yourself versus them being made for you. There is no empowerment in the latter. Okay? It would also, I guess, be a nice time to tap back into this energy. Some of you could also be lustful over a Libra, and that's not healthy. Okay, November, 8 of Wands. Okay, awesome. So whatever that energy is moves forward. This mirrors the 8 of Wands, which is awesome, which is kind of like, goes back up to May, June, and then it goes down into December. This, like, November, December. So that chunk, again, May, June, November, December. So Taurus, Gemini, Scorpio, Sagittarius. These are both in conjuncts. Okay, so there's didn't we talk about a loop? Go on a journey during this time. It's like you're combining all these parts into something that is driving a person. It's like showing the way. It's like creating like light to follow, or like, I feel like I want to open December. Let's see. The little Page of Swords. Which is going towards that. Hold on a second. Two pages, a king, a queen. There's that inner child again. And then the card that ended up the monk, the monastery in Armenia, that ended up in October. Those were the two clarifiers. Interesting. So I feel like this is a positive lesson. I see it's working through something. I would definitely go back 6 months. Maybe whatever it is that you wish for also came true. Although I feel like that you kind of have a lot of wishes come true. What do you wish for? Like, or I mean, you can't just wish, you gotta do, right? There's that, but just a minute. Well, this car is going a little bit uphill. And then it's got to take a sharp left, and then it comes around the bend. That's the moon. Oh, the 8th, the 17th, the 26th, and whenever the moon is out during the day. Ugh, look at this. Pay attention in those days. Maybe this kind of emphasizes again like a root chakra or like family cycle. And this is the card that clarified the King of Swords. So we're talking about March, June, and then November again. There's something about those three. March, June, October. Huh. Well, I guess you want to just make sure that, well, I see you're in the driver's seat, and just remember God's the boat, you know? Like, you're at the helm, and God's the boat. I guess that could also mean, like, when Gemini is rising, you have to, with Gemini, it goes back to the June. Because that's the helm, the 12th house. Huh. Put your 8th house in your 12th house. Okay. Then we have December again. Let's move forward. Page of Swords. There's another horsey. This one's green. Has the same flowers, there's yellow flowers like in January, the beginning of the year, and the end of the year. At the beginning of the year, you had 4. At the end of the year, you have 6. Awesome. And actually, you gain another spoke on the little wheel, which Aquarius talked about that, a new notch. Page of Swords is very intelligent. It's like, it's almost like the future is, just a second. Oh, you want to get back on track. If someone wants to get back on track, or someone, if you get a little lost, the path is right there. Hierophant, yes. I would also start looking, because this is the end of the year, I would look kind of abstractly at where you're at or where you're going. You know, think of it in a fun way. Think of it really open-minded, right? You had this is mirroring the King of Swords, which is kind of like, it's either black or white. It's this or that. There's no gray area. Page of Swords knows that there is a field of gray, right? The only reason, again, the King or Queen of Swords gets it so defined between here is the fence line, here is the field, right? Them being the fence. Page of Swords, again, is like, just thinks of the fence as something to get over. It's not a big deal. Strength and, yeah, strength in the world. High Priestess and the Knight of Swords. I love this High Priestess card. So I would also think, I guess December's a nice time to think back again to those wishes, to the prayer in February, that energy. And well, I heard I can do it. You know, maybe it is trying something new, or trying something that scared you, or maybe you won't even think about where you tried things that scared you, right? Queen of Wands, where you were brave, you know. And I see, and beloved. Huh. Sun. We'll take that. The Emperor's exalted in the sun. Cool. Okay. Got to make good boundaries if you have any toxic family stuff, okay? Or any, like, you understand where things come from more this year. It's because it's coming to, like, fruition. And if you've been working on this, there's a lot of reward, and I feel like this is where those wishes are granted for your work prior. So wherever you are in the path, there's goodness there. It's just different amounts of it depending on the different amounts, again, prior. Okay, Taurus, there's your 2023. Or at least a part of it, you know. Of course, you have a lot of choice in this year. You actually only have one major, which is in October. Otherwise than that, this is mostly in your Emperor. It's in your hands to make it what you want, right? So think clearly and creatively of how you can make that happen. Right action, right prayer. I feel like Aries talked about that. Okay. Wish you the best. Thank you for 2022. I hope this was of service. The months will be time-stamped below in the little bobbly-doo. Talk to you later. Love you. Peace.